What do you get when you bring writers together for some fun and games?
Writers Virtual Table.
Hello and welcome to Writers Virtual Table. I am your host, Casey Bell, and today I have some wonderful writers who've come to play some games with me. Unfortunately, there are no trophies, prizes, or stickers or anything. We're just going to have a lot of fun. All right. So let's get started with Anna. Please give me your name. Give me your, when you began writing, if you can remember how far back it was, and your first publishing project, what was it like for you?
Hi, I'm Anna J Walner. I am the multi-award winning author of the Alluver Legacy series. I began writing, I don't remember when, honestly. I've kept a journal ever since I can remember. The ones that I found that are the oldest are probably from elementary school. From there, it was just kind of a natural progression from being a reader to becoming a writer. So the first book that I have is Garcane, which is the debut of the series. And it releases on June 22nd, so 2 weeks from now. It's been a wild roller coaster of a ride, the whole publishing experience, from creating my own independent publishing house to the marketing and sales side of things, which has been quite the challenge and the learning experience. But with every mistake comes a lesson learned. So I think it's been overall a pretty rewarding experience, and I'm just excited to see the 22nd come, because a 6-month pre-order period is a long time. It seems like forever.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Next up is Caramel. Again, your name, your when you began writing, and your first publishing experience.
Okay, my name is Caramel Lucas, and thanks for having this Casey here. I love it. And I began writing when I was 8 years old. I started writing poems, and I was a big fan of poetry. And so I started writing poetry and little songs down the line, and then I started writing essays and started writing. So 8 years old, my publishing experience is great. I mean, you know, you have those writer blocks sometimes, but other than that, just publishing my first book in 2013 was amazing to me. And for me to create that into a film, that was even awesome. The experience of roller coaster has been amazing, and I don't like roller coasters because I don't like heights. But you know, just it's been a great ride, and I'm looking forward to continue doing what I love to do. And I want everybody to check out my movie, but you know, there you go.
Thank you for sharing. All right, the next one up is Kristi.
Hi, Casey. I apologize for the dogs in the background. They want to be on the show too. I am Kristine Raymond, and like Caramel, I've also been writing since 2013. And I am so sorry. My first book was Here to Stay, which is the first in the Hidden Spring series, and that is historical Western romance. And the publishing experience for me was both exciting and nerve-wracking, and I cried when I hit the publish button. It was so scary to put something that I created out in the world, but I'm still doing it, so it must not have scared me off too bad.
Awesome. Great. Thank you. And Kristi, same questions.
Hey, thanks so much for having me, Casey. This sounds like it's going to be an absolute load of fun. So my name's Kristi Charish, and I'm an urban fantasy author up in Canada. So I sort of do the fun. I can't write a novel without putting a zombie of some sort in it. Is sort of my is what I found. I started writing in 2010. While I was doing my PhD up at the University of British Columbia up here in Canada. And my experience was no writer's experiences are ever the same. No two writers have the same writing journey at all. I ended up having a bit of luck, and a very sort of cool circumstances of events happen. I was writing my first novel, Owl in the Japanese Circus, while I was writing up my PhD thesis. And by the time I was ready to defend, I also had my first novel. And sort of as a bit of a lark, I sent it out to agents, figuring I'll query 100 agents, and then at the end, I'll go the self-publishing route, and it'll be fun either way. And I actually had an agent pick up my novel out in Toronto, my current agent, Carolyn Ford, and I ended up going the traditional route, publishing route, because she had it sold to Simon & Schuster in a few months. And that's kind of where I ended up starting my writing journey.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. All right. All right, hold on. Can you
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this message.
The third installment of Kincaid Strange, Voodoo Shanghai, finds beloved heroine and voodoo practitioner Kincaid Strange shanghaied away from Seattle and pursuing the ghost of a serial killer in Portland. Voodoo Shanghai by Kristi Charish. For more information, go to KristiCharish.com.
And we are back.
All right, for the second section, ask a question. I'm going to ask one of the authors to ask another one a question. Okay, are we ready? Caramel, you're going to ask Kristine a question.
Kristine, when you first start writing, was it when you first start writing and people start reading your work, do you get a lot of negative feedback or positive feedback?
For my first book, I got quite a bit of negative reviews based on a plot line in the story. But to me, it needed to be there. It was intricate to the story. And I understand that some readers don't like it, but overall I get positive feedback. And I think that comes kind of to finding your readers, or I actually look at it the other way. It's your readers finding you, because those people who love what you write will naturally gravitate towards your books.
Right.
Thank you. All right. Kristi Charish, you're going to ask Caramel a question.
Hey, Caramel. So in your intro, you mentioned that you really love poetry and essays. I was really curious, do you have a favorite poem or essay that you found is really influential in your writing, or stuck with you over the years?
Well, when I write my poetry, I don't really pick a favorite poetry writer. I try to do everything on my own, but when it comes to poetry, I'm more like a romance type of poetry. I love romance. Romance is everything to me. I don't know why. I just love love and passion. So I write a lot of love and passion poems because I feel like it's needed in this. To me, it's needed. It's a lot of positive energy in this world. So I do a lot of that. I don't have a favorite portrait, but I know I'm my favorite poetry. You know what I mean? I'm the favorite. But at the end of the day, I love love, and I love passion, and I love energy. And I do a lot of that, a lot of spiritual stuff. So.
Thank you. All right. Kristine Raymond, you're asking Anna a question.
Anna, with your new release just a week away or a week and a half away, have you planned to do anything to celebrate?
I'm a single mom of a 2-year-old. I don't do a lot of celebrating. To be quite honest, Probably not doing a whole lot to celebrate as far as a party or anything like that. Just having the experience of seeing any kind of feedback that we all watch the numbers, and we all see that's probably most of what I'm going to be doing while playing tea party or baby dolls or something like that. So, unfortunately, no, I don't have anything big planned. But yeah, that would be nice. Maybe a Zoom thing, Zoom launch party.
That works. All right, Anna, you're going to ask Kristi Charish a question.
Kristi, so you started publishing quite a while back, and you were lucky enough to find an agent that fell in love with your book. What were your plans as a self-published author had you not been picked up by an agent?
Yeah, that's a great question. So honestly, I think my first sort of instincts was to I'd start doing the research for it. So because I didn't have I'd start with the research. I'd start by reaching out to authors who were self-publishing and doing well and enjoying it. I think I had this nebulous sort of idea that, or concept about the whole self-publishing, that it was nowhere near as easy as people perceived it to be. I think, and this is back in 2015 when my first book came out. And I think there was still a bit of a stigma at the time between traditional and sort of self-published. But looking at authors in my genre who were really just hitting it out of the ballpark, you could see just how much went into the marketing and into deciding how to release the book, that I was kind of terrified. I think I would have tried to find a mentor.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this message.
Find something true that I like. I won't stress you, dear. I know that you made up your mind. Pretending that nothing has changed. Time is my only escape. I know that I lost you that night. I know that you've already left me. Anger won't bother me now. There's no one to blame for your love. In the sweet despair, a broken heart's lying down. I won't hurry, dear. I'm breathing as long as you're around.
It is now time for the next section, which is judge a book by its cover. I'm going to show them a book cover and they have to give me the title, the main character, the plot, and the genre. Okay, your time is up. Kristi Charish, you'll be first. What do you see?
Oh man. Wow. So I came up, I'm sure you guys are going to come up with something much better than me. So for a title, I came up with Kaleidoscope Doorway, and I'm playing to my strengths on this one. I'm going with a portal fiction. So where you travel to another world, and for plot and main character, I've decided I'm going to go with my main character is Kelly Ball, and she is a young woman who finds a mask in her secondhand shop that she runs and puts it on one day. And this mask transports her to this kaleidoscope skied universe where she ends up in where there is a mask ball that she needs to infiltrate in order to get back to her real world. And I don't know, something about this title, just this cover screams romance to me. And so this party, this Cinderella-esque party that she's got to infiltrate and get to, there is perhaps a prince or a general that she needs to convince to let her find a golden trinket or a golden mask, so that she can get back home.
Awesome.
And that's what I got in 30 seconds.
Anna, what do you see?
For the title, I have Fatalistic Attraction. And this is a story about a gift that is given to the lead character, Lisette, who discovers a mask inside, which she learns is used to be either a gift or a curse, depending on which eye she looks out of. So out of one eye, she can see the future and what will happen. And out of the other eye, she can see the past and what has already happened. And she has to decide how she's going to move forward based on what she sees from the future and from the past, trying to piece together how that will take her through the story. And I do also see a love interest as well, perhaps someone who is not quite who she thinks he is by seeing the past, and then by seeing the person that he will become in the future, she has to make a decision if she's okay with accepting that dark past he has and knowing the bright future that they could have together.
Wow, thank you. Kristine Raymond, what do you see?
The title is Masquerade Murder, and it is a cozy mystery. And Cricket Sputnitsky is the main character, and she has attended this masquerade ball somewhat unwillingly, but she's there. And another guest receives this gift, and when she opens it, a cloud of dust, or actually glitter, comes out, but it poisons her. And so Cricket, because she is a witness, an unknowing witness to the crime, she decides to kind of do some investigating on her own to see if she can uncover the murderer, unmask the murderer.
Great. And Carmel, what do you see?
Oh my God, Kristi, me and her was thinking alike. That is crazy.
Hey, we already said we're going to co-write, so.
Exactly. But I was looking at Masquerade Party. This is about a young girl who that enjoys the party with a lot of people, and she finds romance. Of course, I'm a romance person, and she sees this guy, and he has a gift in his hand, and she wants to know what the gift is for, and it's her birthday party, and she just gazes at this guy, and she's like so into this guy, and she just wondering what's in this box. But when she opens up the box, when he gives her the box, it's a shoe. It's shoes actually, and they magical shoes. And when she put them on her feet, the whole ball becomes very beautiful and love, and just so gorgeous. And she falls in love with the guy, and so it's a romance and fantasy kind of story for me. So
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Every time we play this game, I always get completely different stories from one another. So that's always great.
Fun. It's fun.
Yes, we can all
it
see
is,
the
actually.
same thing, but yet we don't see the same thing.
Right.
All right, so the next section is, who is this character? I'm going to give you a character name. You have to give me the title, the plot, and the genre. So,
You don't want to miss out. This twisted fiction novel is about 4 best friends who get over their obstacles and situations in life. We have 4 women, but who decides to be in love with the other man? In Love with the Other Man by Caramel Lucas. The film is available on YouTube. For more information on the book and the film, go to caramellucas.net.
And we are back.
okay, so the first one is Kristine Raymond, who is Richard Richardson.
Oh my gosh, I knew you'd pick me first. Oh gosh. Well, he's a tech magnate, kind of a dork, very rich, but he doesn't really know what to do with his money. Let's see. Oh my gosh. I want to say it's kind of a romance, and title is just escaping me because I want to play on his name, but nothing's coming. That wasn't long enough. You have no idea how long it takes me to come up with a title sometimes. Sometimes I write the whole book. So genre romance, he's a tech magnate, and title reckless. I don't know. Reckless love. There we go. I don't know.
Awesome. Okay.
oh my God.
Kristi Charish, who is Richie Richardson?
Oh man, you can totally tell what genres we all write in. So I could not resist going with an urban fantasy on this one. And hear me out. So the title of this novel is Dead and Drowned Seattle. And it is about a paranormal detective who lives in the wet city, who is Richie Richardson. And he's half goblin. And he is a detective who is cursed with, if somebody says, because he has all of his names start with an R. If somebody says his name into a mirror 3 times, he always appears because of that sort of half goblin nature that he has. And so it's a bit, it's a bit of a pain. People want to hire Richard, and sometimes he doesn't want to show up, but of course they call him through that mirror, and he's got to come. He's got to show up, and so this is the plot of this story. It's fantasy, paranormal, urban fantasy, and the plot of this is that he has the trolls who live in the underground Seattle start to go missing, and they want to hire Richard to discover where they're going and what's happened to him, what's happened to all of them. And if he can't do it, then there probably is going to be some pretty serious consequences, because the trolls are not particularly forgiving or nice people in Seattle. And the romance is one of the young trolls who has gone missing is a young woman who Richard, of course, has a romantic interaction with. And there we go.
Caramel, who is Richie Richardson?
Okay, he is a billionaire that disappeared. So the title is going to be The Billionaire That Disappeared. And this is a mystery story for me. And he disappeared. No one knows where he's at. He's a billionaire, has all this money, and he wants to see if his family is going to take his money from him, or who's real to him and who's not. And he appears here and there, and his family think they're going crazy because they know that he's gone, but they know he disappeared and they don't know where he's at. But when they sleeping at night, he appears, and everybody thinks they're going crazy. So he's making his family psycho, and this is perfect because he wants to know, are you spending my money? Everybody's spending his money, don't care about where he's at. They looking for him, but not really looking for him. And then when he appears, they go psycho because they're like, oh my God, I seen Richard. And then everybody's like, I seen him too. So he appears here and there. So yeah, they're spending his money. So it's a mystery because they don't even know where this man is at.
Great. And Anne, who is Richie Richardson?
Okay, so mine is a bit different. It's a dark coming of age tale called The Story of Us Three. And a young man discovers that he's beginning to miss time early in his junior year of high school. And he discovers that he's essentially struggling with dissociative identity disorder. And these three personalities, Richard, Richie, and Richardson, are the manifestations of those different personalities. So it's steeped in a bit of dark coming of age, psychological understanding of one's own true self, and going through a difficult journey to figure out who the different personalities are, what triggers allow each individual identity to manifest itself within him, and what those entities are like. Richard is his normal self. Richie is a very scared and isolated individual, and Richardson is really the personality that takes over when he is scared. He's very aggressive and angry, and this is ultimately the personality Richardson who leads him to discover that something is not right and that he needs to go talk with someone in order to figure out what is going on when he blacks out and wakes up with blood all over his knuckles at school one day.
Wow. Thank you for that. That was a lot of fun. And I really like each and every one of your stories. Maybe I'm helping you write a new book. I don't know.
Right.
That's right.
A secret message hidden inside of an antique wooden box, an unidentified dead body, and a mother determined to marry her off to the high school crush whom she hasn't seen since, well, high school. There's no doubt about it. Finn Bartisiak's life in the seaside town of Port New is about to get interesting. Finagled by Kristine Raymond. For more information, go to KristineRaymond.com.
All right, I want to thank our writers for joining me today. Caramel, why don't you start out by telling us about your latest book you published, and if you are working on a new project, what is it?
The latest book I published is In Love with the Other Man. It's erotic, and what I'm working on now is poetry and stand-up comedy. Actually, I went the opposite direction. I do stand-up comedy here and there, and I still write poetry with Urban and Wayne Publishing Company, and I have won 3 awards with them. And I'm planning on writing my second series to In Love with the Other Man, but that's basically what I have going on. And definitely check out the movies on YouTube, so y'all can do that. Okay, it's called In Love with the Other Man as well. So it's a really good movie. It's erotic, so 18 and up. So yeah.
Thank you. All right, Kristi Charish, if you can, your latest project, and if you are working on anything, what is it?
Hey, so my latest release was in my Kincaid Strange paranormal murder mystery series, and the title is Voodoo Shanghai, and the series is about Kincaid Strange, who's a practitioner who lives in Seattle with the ghost of a grunge rocker, and her job is she contacts the dead and occasionally raises zombies for things like will disputes. And of course, a murder happens in the paranormal community, and she has to figure out who's behind it before she either ends up the victim or is blamed for it herself. And I'm not ready to share the title yet, but I am working on something new, and it is a spy spoof. So it's a spy spoof about all the people in the who work in behind the scenes to try and make sure that the most world famous celebrated spies keep being famous and celebrated spies, and the trials and tribulations that they have to go through.
Cool, thank you for sharing. Okay, and the latest project, and are you working on anything at the moment?
My latest project is Garcane, the first book of the Allure Legacy series, which will be debuting here on the 22nd. It follows Amelia. I gave her my adoption story, having been adopted as a baby from Houston Hospital. I gave her my adoption story and let her go wild with it. So she ends up reconnecting with her biological family, who turns out to be involved. Actually, they are somewhat rulers of a secret society in the outback of Australia, where vampires and werewolves still exist to this day. My current project that I'm working on is the fourth and final book in the series, of which I cannot reveal the name, but the second book is getting ready to release or for pre-order as soon as the first book is ready to release. So I'm very excited to draw the series to a close and then start working on my newest passion project, whether or not there's a spin-off potential, I'm not sure yet, or go in an entirely different direction. So it's exciting having options.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Kristine Raymond, what's your latest project, and are you working on anything at the moment?
My most recent book is Finagled, which is the first in the Finn's Finds Cozy Mystery series. And it's about Finn Bartusiak, who kind of stumbles upon this mystery and gets drawn into it. And she has a lot of other things going on in her life. And I'm currently working on the second book in the series called Finicky Eaters. And I'm hoping to have that out by the end of the year. We'll see. That's kind of been one of those that's been in the works for a while now, but yeah, it's coming along and I'm really excited about it. I just absolutely love Finn, so she's so much fun.
Thank you. And something I seem to be forgetting in each episode, I know Kristi Charish, you said you're calling from Canada. So Anna, where are you calling in from?
Texas.
Carmel?
Orlando, Florida.
And Kristine?
Kentucky.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank each and every one of our writers, Kristi, Anna, Carmel, and Kristine, for joining me. And of course, the audience. I want to thank you for taking the time to view our fun and silliness. Have a great day. Have a great week.
Thanks, Casey. It was fun.